I've been thinking a lot lately about this whole Zoom and virtual meetings world. I mean, face it, day after day, all of us likely spend too much time on Zoom or on Hangouts or on whatever system, Blue Jeans and all the rest, that your organization has chosen to use. And the more that I've been thinking about it, it dawns on me that Zoom has become the communication equivalent of standing 6 feet apart. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, number one, we certainly wouldn't prefer to do it, to have communication and conversation. We don't want to stand 6 feet apart. But because of the pandemic, we have to. Because of the pandemic, we have to figure out the best way to use Zoom. Number two, until somebody comes up with something better in terms of face-to-face communication, Zoom is the best that we can do. Or Blue Jeans, just to give a shout out to the other good video platforms. But it is the best that we can do in this time. Number three, it unfortunately, like 6 feet apart, creates mediocre communication. It just does. Not only does it stifle and place everybody inside of a box, but it also hurts our backs and it hurts our heads and it depletes our energy. So it is at best the necessity that we must figure out until something better comes along, that we must figure out how to be the best we can be at it. And that's what clients are asking me. That's what you saw a little posting I had about making better virtual meetings. And here are my ideas again, for emphasis and for hope of providing a way to improve. Number one, use Zoom and its cousins less. That's right, use it less. Here's how I think about it. I have returned in the relationships that truly matter, the one-on-ones of people who I am coaching and connecting with. I have returned to the phone. You see, the phone provides an opportunity to do things that happen in normal conversation, to hear a sound enter your ear in a focused way, to be able to look around and look outside, or close my eyes and rest for a second, or walk around my office. Phone, I believe, one-on-one is a vastly superior way to Zoom, and it also diminishes the chance for the all now famous Zoom fatigue. Now, for groups and for people that you don't know, Zoom again and its cousins become a reality. So now you face idea number two, and that is accept that you must use it until the time is different. And in your mind, in your process of what I have come to help clients with called self-talk, it's interesting to listen to yourself when it comes to getting ready for yet another Zoom meeting. What are you saying to yourself? And the point is that you can direct that language in a relatively productive way. And by the way, you're the only director of that language. You're the only one who can manage your self-talk. And the research says that if you ask yourself questions about how to make something better, rather than bemoaning and whining about the negative reality that we've already talked about, you're going to show up in not only a way that is more satisfying to the people that you're endeavoring to connect with, but you're going to feel better yourself. This is the weapon against Zoom fatigue. So here's what I mean. The next time that you know that you've got to be on a Zoom call, ask yourself a question. The psychologists call this interrogative self-talk. Ask yourself a question like, what is it that I have to do to make this as good as it can be? What are the things that I must do? And then answer the question. All of a sudden, there's a little momentum. All of a sudden, there's a little energy, which leads me to idea number 3. If you set your mind in the most constructive direction, try these 2 tips. Number 1, when you have to present, and you will, make sure you do 2 things. Number 1, put your elbows on the table in front of you. Number 2, put your butt on the end of whatever you're sitting on. What these 2 movements, along with planting your feet as a 3rd movement, what they do, as I have tried to do for this few minutes I'm with you, is they engage you into the moment. They allow you to focus in a spot, and they will have you show up despite the rampant limitations of Zoom that we have all come to struggle with. I mean, notice the happy hours, they've faded away for the most part. The friends having a cocktail, it doesn't happen so much anymore because we are tired. Because, as one of my friends said, enough already. But already is not here. So I encourage you. Number 1, get on the phone. Number 2, check your language. Watch your words as you prepare. And number 3, sit up. Put your elbows on the table. Put your feet on the floor. And remember, until further notice, you got a choice. As the old saying goes, you can either curse the darkness or light a candle. It's ultimately up to you.